Make yourself at my home, tell me.
All right, welcome freshmen. Hold on, let's try this. Good morning. We're gonna try it again. Good morning. Oh no, we have to do that again. Good morning. All right. I don't know if you guys are awake yet. We'll give you a couple minutes, then we're gonna try that. What was that? 3 times? We'll try it a 4th time. So welcome to Freshman Orientation. We are super excited that all of you guys are here today. We had a great day yesterday with the members of our mostly blue cohort. So today we have the members of our gold cohort. And I have my mask off. I just said this to the group yesterday. You'll see teachers in the front of the classroom sometimes taking their masks off, and that's okay because I'm far enough away from you guys. So just kind of get used to that. It's totally fine. So you'll see the presenters up here today with their masks off. All right, Freshman Orientation. This program, it's designed to provide all of you guys with information about our policies and procedures here at Newington High School. And it's also going to get you a little bit familiar with our building, the staff in the building, and our major goal today is to make you comfortable and overall just help you succeed on your journey here as a student at Newington High School. We have a learning target up there today, and it reads, by the end of this program, I will be more knowledgeable about NHS and less anxious about starting my high school career. So that's what we hope to achieve today from this program. Without further ado, I am going to introduce Ms. Tigno, our building principal, and she's going to share with you some more information about Newington High School. Ms. Tigno.
Thank you, Ms. Blanchard. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. I sense some really great energy. I was talking to Ms. Motke in the back. Am I really loud? I'm loud in general, so am I too loud, or is this okay? We're good? All right. I know it's early for teenagers right now. Trust me, I live with one who doesn't get up till we won't say. Was that better? Okay. Now you made me lose my train of thought. So I sense positive energy. Yesterday was a little quiet. I think we were getting used to being back. We're just excited to have a full auditorium with kids. And I know it looks different. It may feel a little different, but please know that we are so happy to have you here. When I introduce myself at assemblies, I usually say the proud principal of Newington High School, and that continues to remain true because I'm so proud of everything that our staff and students continue to do in Newington. So again, welcome. So in 4 years, I welcome the class of 2024, but in just 4 years, I'll be announcing the graduating class of 2024. And I don't know about you, but 4 years will go by like that. So you are to make the most of your time here at the high school. Today you're going to hear a lot about policy and procedure, how we do things a little differently now that we're in this situation, how we're going to do things when this goes away, because it will go away. So you're going to hear a lot about that. But you're also going to hear a lot about ways to get involved. You're going to hear from our athletics department. You're going to hear from student council, a couple of different clubs. And it's very easy to start a club here. You just need basically a group of kids interested in the same thing you are. You need an advisor, and then you would see Mr. Myers, and you can start a club. So today you'll hear some of that information. My challenge to all of you is to get involved. One of the key to successes really anywhere in life, but certainly here at the high school, is get involved. Step outside your comfort zone. Maybe you didn't know you liked a certain thing, and maybe you want to try it. But there'll be plenty of clubs and activities that are all online, and Mr. Myers will speak to that later. So please make sure you get involved because 4 years will go by so quickly. One of the things you'll hear a lot, at least from me, is called a family of learners, if you haven't already. I truly believe that we are a family. On Fridays, we'll be wearing certain clothing that identifies the staff with family of learners. In classrooms, you may see magnets that say family of learners. If you email me, you'll see that my tagline is family of learners. I'm here almost more than I am with my own family, so you certainly are part of my family, so I welcome you to the family. Before I start with the little slideshow presentation, I just want to give you 3 facts about myself, because we talk about building relationships, right? So this way you'll have a better idea of who I am. So the first thing is, I already told you about my oldest daughter, who's going to be a sophomore, not in this district, but she'll be a sophomore. And then I have a younger daughter who will be in 6th grade, so she's starting middle school. And I also live with 3 boys. So I know all of the moods that you will be experiencing as teenagers, which is always a fun ride. And I also know that you probably would want to be Snapchatting half of your face to one of your friends who's probably in the same auditorium. I still don't understand that concept. And TikToking, which may or may not go away, but I have learned a couple of TikTok dances, and when we're able to get maybe closer without masks on, maybe we can do the Renegade or something, because I have learned some TikTok dances, which is really fun. So the second thing you need to know about, or not need to know, but I'd like to share, is that it was only 36 years ago that I sat in the same auditorium as a freshman at Newington High School. And so I know you're anxious and scared, but also a little bit excited and looking forward to the next 4 years. So we're here to make the best of that for you. I know a lot of your siblings, your friends, your cousins. I probably went to high school with some of your parents, so that's exciting for me as well. This is my 25th year in education, my 14th year at the high school, but my 4th year as the principal, and this year is certainly like no other. So when you hear another tagline, we're in this together, we truly are in this together. So we're here to make the best, like I've said earlier, for you and help you be successful. And then the last thing to note about me is that I promote kindness. One of the things we say is that anybody who walks through our doors at any given time deserves to have a great day. So please help make that happen for everybody. All right, the next slide, please. Are you clicking slides? Thanks, Jacob. So now I'd just like to introduce the administrative team. I'll introduce Dr. Brutman in a minute. So we have what we call a house system here at Newington High School. If you haven't been here before, we have 3 floors. We have about 1,500 people in this building, 1,300 plus students, a couple hundred staff. So to break it into smaller families, we have a house system. And on each floor, we call it one-stop shopping, kind of like Amazon. If you go to Amazon, you kind of get whatever you want, right? A variety of things. If you walk into your house office or any house office, you should be able to get all of your questions answered. There is a house secretary, at least 2 school counselors, and a house principal. So at this time, I'm just going to introduce our house principal. So on the first floor, and you're going to hear more about this from Mr. Korn later, primarily the beginning part of the alphabet, pretty much A through G. That is called the McGee House office. And Mr. Harris, if you wouldn't mind raising your hand, Mr. Harris is the McGee House principal. You'll hear from him in just a little bit. On the second floor, another graduate of Newington High School, the Dorn House office house principal is Mr. Ficcicelli, and he'll be speaking, he's over here, and he'll be speaking later this morning as well. That's the middle third of the alphabet. And then finally, the Stoddard House office, which is the end third of the alphabet, Mrs. Blanchard, some of you formerly Miss Harvey may know her from Wallace. She was a former teacher at Wallace. So we have a great team here. We have an open door policy, so please feel free to stop in at any time. The next slide, and my final slide, talks about the transition here to Newington High School. So a lot of people refer to this as the big house. What happens when you come to the big house? It's a great place, as you will see today and throughout your next 4 years. But with coming to the high school, there's obviously more independence and more responsibility. And then with that comes the greater academic challenges and the greater accountability. Here at the high school, grades really matter, right? They matter on your transcript for your next, whatever you plan to do post-secondary. And then you'll hear from Mr. Korn in a little bit, too, about the certain number of credits you need to advance to your sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. And that's really important that you start off on the right foot here at Newington High School. So with that, I'm actually going to introduce another graduate of Newington High School. So if you're following this pattern, you too can be an administrator in the Newington Public Schools. Because our superintendent, Dr. Maureen Brummett, is also a graduate of Newington High School. So before I turn over the mic, I just want to say welcome again. Looking forward to seeing you in the halls on the days that you are here, and looking forward to the day we can all be here together. So welcome, and Dr. Dr. Brummett. Welcome.
Good morning. Yes, I was in Doran House. That was my house at the time. I cannot remember my vice principal's name, though, because I never got in any trouble, so I never went to the office. Anyway, welcome. As you can see, we are happy to welcome the class of 2024. You're entering high school at a very interesting time, but also a time of tremendous opportunity here at the high school. So today I just want to encourage you to, even though this year is going to be a little different, we do really want everyone back. And as you know, you'll have 2 days a week coming in, 2 days, 3 days home. We'll hopefully, by October, if everybody's following all the rules and we get fortunate in that way, we hope to come back 100% full-time by early October. But either way, when you're home, you will log in at the normal time, and you will see what's happening in the classroom in real time, which is different than what happened in the spring. So you'll hear more about that. But I do want to welcome you, encourage you to take advantage of everything Newington High has to offer, and they have a lot. You could conceivably leave the high school with all kinds of college credits. I'm sure Mr. Korn will talk about that. I would encourage you to do that. That makes your parents really happy, too. And last but not least, we are all have to wear masks. And I just want to stress that because that's one of the huge safety precautions. Now, of course, I took my mask down, but if I'm more than 6 feet away from you while teaching or saying anything, I can take my mask down. But for the most part, you have to wear it all day, including the bus. And we assume everyone's going to cooperate, but if not, then they would have to go to their online program instead of being in school, because this is so critically important for keeping everyone safe. The other thing that's critically important is to let your parents know if you're not feeling good. We aren't going to take your temperature every day, but we're asking your parents to check in with you every morning and make sure you're feeling okay. And I sent a detailed letter about that a couple days ago along with Ms. Hetherington. But enough about that. You'll hear a lot more about our safety precautions in the coming days. I'm going to turn the mic back over to Ms. Tigno, and I encourage you to have a great, it's going to be the athletic director, Mr. Myers. I want to encourage you to have a great day today and listen to all the fun things that are happening. Mr. Myers.
Thank you, Dr. Brummett. So good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. Myers. I am the Director of Athletics and Student Activities. Mr. Lenahan is over to the right. He's the Assistant Director of Athletics and Student Activities. And if you come down to the athletic office or have an athletic question, you're going to get one of us. Or if you have a question about starting a club or getting involved or something along those lines, that's what we're here for. Our office is 120. It's actually in the main hallway. If you enter through the main door, we're the last door on the left. My big goal of today is just to stress to you to get involved. All right? We're going to get to athletics in a second, but the most critical piece you can have, if you're not an athlete, okay, or if in a season when you're not playing a sport, I can't stress to you enough the importance of getting involved, trying something different. We offer over 50 clubs and different activities. Okay, they range from music all the way to ping pong club. Our clubs initially will start via online meetings, but then we will hope to transition it in person. Try something different, okay? You've gotten to this point, probably only doing the things that either mom or dad guided you to or things that you were always tied to from when you were a young child. Find something different and see what you think. Most meetings are once a month, maybe twice a month. You can become a member of a club or activity, join it, go ahead in, and see what they have to offer. You might be amazed that this might be something that guides your future from there, all right? So my big message to you is register, go to meetings, find out information. If you don't like it, that's okay. Move on to something else. But you never know what you're going to enjoy. The athletic side of our program, we offer 3 seasons, fall, winter, and spring. The things you will need to be able to participate are up on our screen right now. So academic eligibility. From the get-go, you are automatically eligible. Okay, so if you play a sport in the fall season, you will be eligible. We're going to gain more information about what the fall will look like, hopefully either today or tomorrow morning. But you will be eligible to participate in those programs. After the first semester, you must pass 4 classes and be in good standing with your teachers to be able to move forward, okay? So if you're having some discipline issues or whatnot, that might hold you back. But you must pass at least 4 courses to participate. We also have a registration process, which is online. at newingtonathletics.com. You have to go on, register, okay? In there, it'll give you some information, like the physical date. You must have a physical on file with the nurse. So what I'll tell you is, when you go to get your physical at your physician's office, get it and make a copy. The next day, bring it into the school nurse and give it to her, so we always have one on file, okay? Those dates vary by season, but just always make sure that when you get your physical, make a copy and bring it in to school nurse the next day. Our participation fees, in the fall, we're doing it a little differently. You're going to receive an email from your coach, which will tell you the first day that you're going to start if you've registered. You're going to bring that participation fee that first day to practice. Normally, okay, and hopefully for later seasons, you bring that participation fee to the athletic office. All right? So for the fall season, if you play a fall sport, you're going to bring that participation fee to the first activity, the first day. All right? There's a couple ways that we get information to you. One is announcements. Make sure you are listening to announcements. Morning, during school, or after. There's going to be updates, there's going to be changes. Make sure you're paying attention to those updates. Our social media feeds. Newington Athletics on Facebook. We have Newington Sports, which is on Twitter. And we're also going to try to send email out for the email that you use to register. I can't stress the importance of this. What you use to register to participate in a sport is going to be the email that we reach out to you at. So make sure you're utilizing the email you provide us. Make sure you're following with our social media, meetings, updates, deadlines. We highlight some of your sport activities. Please make sure you're following that. Again, it's just a great way to get information. It's how we keep you in the loop. NewingtonAthletics.com, that's going to be your comprehensive site. If you have any questions after today about participating in athletics, please go directly to NewingtonAthletics.com. It provides you with all the answers you could want. It's also going to give you information about NCAA, so playing sports after high school. A lot of good stuff that you're going to be able to use as you go through your 4 years here at Newington High School. And then we have our dates. So hopefully, we will be starting up. Right now, fall season will be August 27th. We're on a waiting period for that. I put TBA for winter and spring because we're not 100% sure what that's going to look like with our present scenario. But understand that we're going to have a registration period. We're going to make sure we're communicating out when maybe Zoom meetings will be for our winter sports so those coaches can give you information. We'll do the same for spring. So please make sure, one, you're following the morning announcements. Make sure you're logging into our social media because that's where we're going to get information out to you. And also look on NewingtonAthletics.com. We can only get information out if we know you're looking. So this is a great way for you to be able to find the information that you need to be able to participate. So I'm going to leave you today with just saying, get involved. If you're not an athlete, join a club that you haven't done before. Find something that you never thought you'd be interested in and give it a shot. Go to 2 or 3 meetings and just see what happens. Because I promise you, it could be something that guides you the direction of the rest of your life and something that you really get engaged with. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And now I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Harris. Have a great day, everybody.
Good morning. Ms. Tigno and I have a competition about who's louder, so. Good morning. I don't know, Ms. Blanchett. They're going the wrong way on this now. So I get the privilege to talk to you guys about performance-based student management, PBSM, which is really just a fancy way of talking about how you guys can earn open study here at the high school. Open study is different from structured study or freshman study. I'll give you all guys a guess which one you'll be starting in. But open study, you get a lot more freedoms, a lot more opportunity to be self-directed, to be in the cafeteria or in the library and not have to have your phone put away necessarily and have some more kind of responsibility for making sure that you are doing what it is you need to do instead of being in a structured study or a freshman study where there's a lot more rules you have to follow and things that you have to do in order to stay focused on your work. So there's really 3 things that we look at in order for you to earn open study. And the first of those is your academic performance, okay? So in order to earn open study, you have to have no more than 2 Ds. You can't have any Fs, okay? So you have to be performing academically in order to earn this privilege. Additionally, there's a behavioral component. You cannot have more than 2 office referrals, 2 level 2 referrals, and also earn open study. You have to demonstrate you're responsible enough for it. And then lastly, there's a financial component where you cannot owe more than $20 to the school. And there's different ways that you can accrue that, right? So Chromebook damage, losing a textbook, having to purchase a new ID because you lost it, things like that. So there are opportunities where that could happen, and you have to remain in good financial standing with us as well. So normally, you want to have that open study because you do have more freedom, you do have more opportunity to be self-directed, and then typically as an upperclassman, you also have the ability, if you have an open study period 1 or 7 or 8 or 2, right, when we have those block days, that you could come in late or leave early if you have an open study those periods as an upperclassman. You're going to see that there's some other things that we're doing this year because of our hybrid model. You're going to learn a little bit about some different opportunities for something similar to that to happen this year, just so that we have our numbers as manageable as possible in the school building right now. But that is something that you definitely want to focus on and think about and earn. Again, it's pretty attainable. You just got to stay focused and stay responsible, okay? Who has questions for me? No? No, Ms. Cuddy? All right, I'm going to try it again. Good morning! All right, guys at home, you're doing way better than the crowd here. All right, thank you. So with that, I am going to turn it over to the Director of School Counseling and Academic Assessment, Mr. J. Seth Korn.
All right, I'm not going to try to do the really loud good morning because that's just not working. My name is Mr. Korn. I'm the Director of School Counseling. So I oversee the School Counseling Department, and if I could get the next slide. There we go. And here is my team. So as was explained before, we are a house system. In every house, there are 2 school counselors. And if you look, when you get your schedule later on today, it will have your your assigned school counselor, which is based off of your last name alphabetically. So in the McGee house, there's Miss Palazzo and Miss Slater. In the Dorn house, there's Miss Charmant and Miss Mantell. And then in Stoddard, there's Miss Sullivan and Miss Carell. And then we also have our academy counselor, Miss Arnett. She works with all academy students, 9 through 12. But her caseload specifically is if you designate yourself as an academy student at the end of your sophomore year, you will switch over to Miss Arnett's caseload for 11th and 12th grade. So your school counselor is really, I like to say one of your go-to people at the high school. All of you had a school counselor in middle school. If you came from John Wallace, you had Miss Colangelo. And then at Martin Kellogg, you had Miss Resendez. So they are here to support you both academically, socially, and with your career aspirations. Next slide. So Ms. Tigno talked about this before, but in order to graduate from Newington High School, your class will need 25 credits in order to graduate. So what is different here at the high school compared to middle school and your other grades is in order to promote to the next grade, it's based off of credits. So just because you are now 13 and next year you're 14 and you did a whole year of school, you become a sophomore, it doesn't work that way. You need to earn 6 credits in order to become a sophomore. You need to earn 12 in order to become a junior. And then in order to become a senior, you need 18 and then again 25 in order to graduate from Newington High School. A credit is equated to a full year class is 1 credit typically, and a semester class, whether it's in semester 1 or semester 2, is typically a half credit. So a passing grade earns you a credit. It also is incorporated to your attendance. So whether you are a remote learner or you have remote days, the expectation is that you're signing into class either remotely or in person in order to achieve attendance for that day. If you go above 20, and I think they'll talk about this later, there is a review board that you'd have to go through because just, again, even though you got, let's say, a B in the class, but you have over 20 absences, you may lose credit in that class even though you passed it. So credits are really important at the high school. Again, the school counselors are here to support you. Please reach out to your counselor. They will be reaching out to you within the first month of school, whether remotely or in person, having small groups to introduce themselves to you. The first 2 weeks of school, the counseling office is really busy, and again, it's that one-stop shopping in your house offices. That's where your school counselor's office is. But the first 2 weeks of school are really busy for counselors because students are changing schedules and wanting to meet with counselors just about anything that's going on in their life. The one piece of advice I'll give to you is the first week of school, just take some time to encompass yourself in your course. The first day of class, there's going to be a lot of introductions, support for you. Just give the class a couple days before just saying automatically, I want to drop that class, okay? You have the first 2 weeks of school to drop any course that you would like. After that, you cannot drop a course. But again, try the courses out before just deciding instantly that I want to drop this course. Try it. So I wish you the best of luck. My office is in the main school counseling office. I recognize some faces underneath the mask that I got to see at the middle school last year, but you can always reach out to me as well if you need any support. So with that, I'm going to introduce another great resource that we have here at Newington High School, and that is Officer Kaufman.
Thank you, Mr. Korn. Good morning. That was terrible. Good morning. Thank you. So I am here strictly as a resource. That is what I prefer to do here. My goal here is to keep the students out of the juvenile justice system, which means that I do not like to make arrests for young folks up here. However, from time to time, I'm kind of painted into a corner and things happen and arrests are made. So the best way for that not to happen is to pay attention here for a few minutes, okay? The big no-nos here. Do not bring or use drugs or intoxicants here at the school. Don't use them at home either, okay, or with your friends, but not up here, especially. If you get caught with drugs and or intoxicants here at the school, it's kind of a two-prong discipline. You're going to be in trouble with the school administratively, and then you're going to be in trouble with the juvenile court system. Secondly, fighting, all right? There's no room for it up here, all right? More likely than not, if you fight up here on the property or in the building, you're going to be arrested because, first of all, it's unsafe, you get hurt. Secondly, it causes big problems up here, okay? Stealing. If it doesn't belong to you, leave it alone or turn it in if you find something, okay? Please secure your things. Things disappear. All right, not always on purpose. Sometimes things are left behind, and then they don't end up back to their rightful owner. All right, if you find something, please turn it in. My location is in the main hallway as well. I'm in room 126. You'll see that today on your tour. But I'm also here for support. All right, if you need any help, anything to do with you're being abused, you think a friend is being abused, you are fearful friend in an unhealthy relationship that you think he or she might need some help with, all right, please come see me. You can let me know of things going on anonymously. Slide a note under my door or bring it up to someone you trust that can come to me, but we need to know about things. Please don't put yourself in a position where you knew something and something bad happens. That's a lot to carry on your shoulders. Okay, for the rest of your life. Oh, geez, maybe if I said something, that wouldn't have happened to that person. Okay, please, we can't help people if we don't know about things. All right. Lost my train of thought. I'm getting old and it's early, and I haven't finished my coffee yet. Electronic devices, okay? Please do not use them inappropriately up here. Things that happen up here can get you jammed up, again, with the school and with the juvenile justice system. Once you send something, when you hit that send button, on whatever platform you're using for social media, you have lost control of that thought. Whatever you said, a lot of times people will read what you said that you thought in your mind you were sending it as a joke. However, it's not interpreted as a joke, and the next thing you know, there's big problems, okay? Whatever you send, I would encourage you, don't send anything, whether it's a comment, a joke, a picture, a meme, unless you think your parent or one of the school administrators, myself or a teacher, someone wouldn't care who saw this, it wouldn't be a problem. If the answer to the question in your head is, could this get me in trouble with somebody in the building or with my parents or with the court, don't send it. Because once you send it, you might say, oh, I was only sending it to my group of friends. And then what happens is that person in your group of friends thinks it's funny and sends it out to other people. Next thing you know, what you didn't intend to go around is now going around, and it all comes back to you. These things last forever, okay? Once you send something, it is in a database somewhere, and it can be found. And the shame of the whole thing is something that you send electronically now can come back to bite you when you're doing college applications, or you're going for your first job after you get out of college. All of a sudden, something silly comes back to bite you because someone found within your digital footprint doing a social media search on you, something embarrassing comes up. Okay, please don't do that to yourselves. All right? Does anyone have any questions about what I do up here or what I can help with? Anybody? Not one question, really? All right. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in a few weeks. Thank you. And I have the honor and pleasure of introducing you to Mrs. Hetherington, the head nurse.
How is everyone? Whoa, that's really loud. Who's excited to start 9th grade? Really? I saw a teacher raise his hand back there. At least one of you is. My name is Mercy Hetherington. I'm the nurse administrator for the district. I am very happy and excited to welcome each of you to high school. It is going to be so much fun. Yes, there's a lot of rules, but if you go by them, it will be a blast. As far as nursing, due to COVID, things are going to look different. I don't know how you operated in middle school, but the nurse's office is not your get-out-of-class-free pass, okay? There actually has to be a reason for you to go to the nurse's office. The teacher will need to call down and give us that reason, and then we will triage you outside of the office to see if you need to be there. Does everyone understand that? Do not come to school if you are sick. You will be sent home, okay? You have to have a pass to come to the nurse's office. So if you are between classes, you need to go to the next class so you're not late and marked tardy, and get a pass from that teacher, have her call us, and then you can come on down. We do recognize, and this is really important, that there might be something very private or personal that you really need someone to talk to. You can let the teacher know that, and we do respect your privacy, and we do want to hear what you have to say. So we do have an open office that's always welcoming for you. All medical paperwork comes to us. So for those of you that are in sports, do not give your coaches or the athletic office your physicals. That comes to the nurse's office. We are the ones that clear you for sports. If you are in sports, turn in a physical every year. There is a mandated 10th grade physical, so if you get one this year, make sure you turn that in so you're all set. Okay, any questions? All right. Any medications in school must have a doctor's order, so you can't carry your Tums or your Tylenol on you because you can get suspended for that. All right, so even something as small as Tylenol for headaches has to be done through the nurse's office. There will be absolutely no cough drops given out this year. The reason for cough drops is because you have a cough or a sore throat, and guess what? What happens if you have a cough or a sore throat? you have to stay home. So don't come down asking for a cough drop. Okay, this is really embarrassing, girls, but high school, you need to bring your own sanitary products because we're all growing up now and we don't go to the nurse's office to ask for them, so please have your supplies. Of course, for those emergencies where you forget, you can go to your house office secretary and get one. Did I cover everything? I think I did. Who has questions for me? Wasn't that fun? All right, we'll see you all later.
All right, student arrival and dismissal. If you are taking the bus to school or you are a walker, you are going to arrive where the 2 yellow stars are. So you'll be arriving in the front of the building. If you're getting dropped off at school, similar to how some of you guys arrived, most of you guys actually arrived today, you will be dropped off around the back of the building, just a little bit closer than where you got out of your cars today. Dismissal at the high school next year is going to be staggered so that we don't have congestion in the hallways. So there'll be an announcement for students who are taking the bus, walking, or being picked up. Okay, the schedule. So most of you in here are gold. Some of you may be remote. Some of you might be blue. That's okay. The big thing to remember are the days when you have to be learning inside the walls of Newington High School. So members of the gold cohort, you are learning from home on Monday and Thursday. So the first day of school, August 31st, do not show up to Newington High School if you are part of the gold cohort. You will be logging in on your Chromebook at 7:34 for your period 1 class, if you have a period 1 class, and attending school that way. And that's really important, you guys. The schedule next year for when you are learning at home follows the bell schedule here at Newington High School. So the expectation is that you're logging into those classes because attendance will be taken. And as Mr. Korn talked about, classes are tied to credits, and attendance is one way that you can actually lose credit for a course. So it's really important that when you're at home, you get yourself into a good routine, set some alarms for yourself, get used to waking up early because 7:34 happens very quickly, okay? So when you're learning at home, the expectation is you log into your Chromebook at the time of the bell schedule here at Newington High School. The gold cohort is in school, so you'll be coming to school on Tuesdays and Fridays. So on those days, you'll arrive at school, follow your schedule, and then head home. On Wednesday, it's our asynchronous learning day, and you guys will probably have a lot of questions about this day. How does it work? What types of things can happen on Wednesday? That's when you're going to be able to access your classes virtually from home. With all of your teachers, you might be working in a small group, getting some extra help. You could set up office hours with a teacher if you need some support. So that's what's going to be going on Wednesday. And when you are in person, your teachers are going to go over with you specifically how Wednesdays will work for those classes. So you probably do have a lot of questions right now, and that's okay. Your teachers for your individual courses will help explain and answer those questions. Hallways and stairwells. When we break out into our smaller groups, half of you will go on a tour, half of you will be in the classroom, then you're going to switch. You will experience firsthand how the hallways and the staircases are going to work this year at Newington High School. So we will have these giant big green arrows on the floor and on the walls. That is going to point in the direction that you are to be walking. Kind of like in the grocery stores, you guys have probably all experienced that. You got to walk a certain way down the aisle, otherwise people will get angry and tell you to go the other way. Happened to me a whole bunch of times till I got used to it. So you do have to follow the directionality of Newington High School. Staircases are either up only or down only. They are clearly labeled. In the event there is a fire drill, an actual fire, any type of evacuation from the building, you can go down an up-only staircase because we want to make sure we're safe and we get everyone out of the building. But when we're business as usual, you do have to follow the directionality of the hallways and of the stairwells. Any questions about that? Passing time for you guys in order to help support this is going to be 8 minutes, so you will have plenty of time to get to and from class because the expectation is you will be following this one-way traffic flow. Mask wearing. You guys are all doing a fabulous job right now wearing your masks. I'm very impressed. I was impressed with the group yesterday. You heard Dr. Brummett say it. You heard Ms. Tigno talk about it. It's going to be the real non-negotiable for this coming school year across all of the schools in Newington. You need to have that mask on unless you're directed by a teacher. If you are taking the bus to school, your mask needs to be on the entire time you are on the bus, okay? If for some reason you forget your mask, that's totally fine. You're just going to be asked when you arrive to go up to your house office, and we'll provide you with one of those disposable surgical type masks that many of you are wearing today. Students who do not follow the mask or social distancing protocol, it will be a phone call to your parents or guardians. You will be sent to your house office, asked to be picked up from school, and it could result in a permanent switch to remote learning. It would be a terrible thing to have your high school career, if you were a hybrid model student, get switched to remote because you failed to comply with the mask and social distancing protocols. So just keep them on, get used to wearing them. Today will be a good practice day because you're going to have these masks on for a long time. Your orientation group leaders will give you opportunities for mask breaks. They're going to be exactly like the mask breaks that you might get when you are actually in school here once the school year starts. So today will be a good practice for what you are to expect when the school year starts in August. Bandanas we're not allowing. Now, if you decide to make a mask out of a bandana, that's totally fine. But you can't just put on a bandana looking like you're going to rob a bank and come to school. We will give you a cloth mask if that's, we will give you a disposable mask if that's the case, just because they're open on the bottom. Neck gaiters, some of you guys have on today. Those are okay to wear. We're just discouraging it. The masks that loop behind your ears give you a little bit more protection. But if you have on a mask gaiter or a neck gaiter, that's totally fine. But the masks that loop behind your ears, those are the ones that come highly recommended. Dress code and mask code. So I was just talking about masks. I'll continue there. Your mask has to follow the dress code expectations. So it can't have anything inappropriate on it, no gang-related symbols, alcohol, drug advertisements. It cannot cover your whole head. Do not show up with a Darth Vader mask on or a Scream mask. No Halloween anything. All of the masks you guys are wearing that I see out in this crowd are perfect. Okay? And the biggest one, it can't be distracting to the learning environment. So if you were to show up with this giant thing on your face, we're probably just going to say you need to take that off and you need to put on this disposable mask and don't wear it to school ever again because it's distracting. Like I said, all the masks I'm seeing in front of me, they are fantastic. Regular dress code. The biggest thing to remember, now all of you have gone through middle school, you're familiar with dress code. If you are standing in front of the mirror and you're asking yourself, I probably shouldn't wear that to school, don't wear it to school. Okay? Your clothing has to cover your body. We don't want to see boxer shorts. We don't want to see bra straps. Those shirts that are super fun to wear. I actually have a couple of them that are like open in the back. They're great for if you're hanging out with your friends outside of school. Do not wear them to school. You will be sent to your house office and asked to secure a change in clothes. So either you can borrow a zip-up hoodie from a friend, a hoodie from a friend, if you have a hoodie to put on. If you don't have a change to put on, or a parent can't come and drop something off, you could be asked to leave to go home, or we have some really great gear from the 1980s when Miss Tigno was here, down in like this box in the main office that sometimes we'll give kids to wear. So you don't want to have to wear the button-down shirt from 1980 with Newington High School written on it, okay? Make sure you're dressed appropriately. You will be going over the dress code with your individual breakout groups. There's also a handout in your folder that outlines in more specific detail what is allowed and what is not allowed. Like I said, you guys have all gone through school for a number of years now. You know what is expected of you. And again, if you wake up and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're saying, probably shouldn't wear this, don't wear it. All right, my spiel is done. I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Harris.
Hi, guys. Did you miss me? It's me again. That's right. So I'm going to talk to you really briefly about two things. The first is clear and mesh backpacks. To school in your backpack, and you would store them in your locker. However, right now we are not using our lockers to promote social distancing and making sure that we're not touching a lot of surfaces and all of those things. So instead, we have allowed students, for the first time that I can think of, to carry backpacks with them. They just have to be clear or mesh. That's pretty straightforward. Next is our cell phone policy. All right, so cell phones, electronics really in general, shouldn't be used in classroom without the express permission of the teacher. So keep your phone away. It's easy. Keep your earbuds away. It's easy. Keep your speakers away. It's easy, right? If you have permission to use them for whatever the learning objective is, or when the teacher says it's okay to do, then it's okay to do. If not, if it's seen, if it's heard, it's a distraction, and that's a problem. And what ends up happening is the teacher may ask you to give it to them. And at that point, you want to give it to them, because if you don't, that's noncompliance. It's a much bigger issue when inevitably you wind up in one of our offices to talk to us about the infraction of being on your electronics without permission, okay? So what ends up happening is your teacher would confiscate it. You would then, they would give it to your house principal. You would have to come down and have a conversation with us about it. There would be some discipline attached to that. But really, probably most importantly for you to know, is your parent or guardian has to come in to get the device. So I literally have had devices live in my desk for weeks at a time when a mom said, yeah, that's fine, I'm not coming in to get that. So you just really want to keep that in mind. But it's pretty easy, it's pretty straightforward. Don't let it be seen, don't let it be heard. Keep it away. And it's not going to be a problem, and if you have the permission, then you can use it. Any questions about that? Fantastic.
Good morning, everybody. Again, I'm Mr. Figicelli. I'm the Dorn House Principal on the second floor. Welcome to NHS. Like Ms. Tigno said, I am a proud graduate of Newington High School, so I know how nerve-wracking it could be to come up here and sit at Freshman Orientation. But we do have a lot of great resources here, as you have heard about so far today. You have some amazing teachers and support staff here, so please don't hesitate to ask any questions. If you need anything academically, or if it doesn't have to do with academics, please don't hesitate to reach out to anybody here. You have a lot of people here that are going to help you out throughout the next 4 years. Couple of quick items here. Chromebooks. If you have a damaged device in the next week or so, please go on to this website here. It's on our school website, and fill out this Google form, and they will address any issues you might have with your Chromebook. Again, so before school starts, you would have to fill out this form. Once school starts, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, the central location for all things Chromebooks is going to be in the Media Center, which you'll see on your tour, which is located right behind the auditorium. In the Media Center is Ms. Oberstadt and Mr. Hartley. They will help you out with any issues you might have with your Chromebook. All right, one important note here, up there it says that we do have loaners for broken devices. It is just for broken devices. So if you forget your Chromebook or you bring an uncharged Chromebook to school, we do not have loaners for you to use for the day, all right? So especially given the circumstances with COVID going on, in the past you might have said, my my Chromebook's not charged, and your teacher might be like, okay, follow along with this individual next to you. We really can't do that. So it's on you to make sure that you bring your charged Chromebook each and every day with you. All right, next, bathroom use expectations. You will use your ID to go to get into the bathroom. So you'll see when you approach a bathroom, there'll be a lav monitor there. You'll just put your ID down on the desk with the lav monitor. You will need a pass to use the bathroom. You do not need a pass to use the bathroom during passing, all right? And we have increased the passing time because, as you have heard, we have one-way hallways and stairwells, so it might take you a little longer. But you can also use the bathroom during that time, and you do not need a pass, all right? We are going to allow a maximum of 4 people in the bathroom at a time. So if there are 4 people in there, the nice lav monitor sitting outside the lav will have you line up outside 6 feet apart, and we will have markings on the ground where you will stand. All right, the cafeteria looks much different than it usually does. You'll see that on your tour as well. You can see what it basically looks like here, all right? So you'll have your own individual setup, and you will, they're about 8 feet apart, all right? So when you go into the caf, you obviously wear your mask, get your lunch, and then once you sit down at your table, you can remove your mask. But we just ask when you get up to throw out your trash, obviously you have to put your mask back on as well. All right, to start school, we have half days. We will have grab-and-go lunches on those days for you. There will be a form that is filled out, right, at the beginning of each of those days. So if you do want to grab-and-go lunch, you just have to fill out a Google form in the morning, and we will have a lunch for you. On all other days, lunch will look a little bit different. There'll be 2 hot lunch choices that are already prepared. All right, there'll be no a la carte items to start, so there'll be no cookies and whatnot to add. And also, we've removed the vending machines because that's just obviously another touch point that we don't want at this point. Eventually, hopefully, at some point this year, all of that will be back. And again, you will use your Easy Pay account to pay for your lunches. So there'll be no cash exchange. You'll use your Easy Pay account. And with that, we have a message from your freshman class advisor. Your freshman class advisor will be reaching out to you guys throughout the next 4 years, and they'll follow you all the way up through graduation. And so your freshman class advisor is Miss Zamsky Hunt.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mrs. Zamsky Hunt, and I'm the freshman class advisor, and I am so excited to be part of your orientation today. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I do and some of the stuff I'm excited for us and the class of 2024. So as your class advisor, the best way to describe what I do, I'm the class's mom. I make sure that all of your events happen, that things are planned out for us, that any needs that the class has, I take care of. And you'll see a lot more of me as we move along in the grades, especially as we do stuff, the big stuff like proms and all the stuff with graduation at the end of your 4 years. But some stuff I'm hoping to do soon is we got to get you some merchandise or swag or whatever non-old lady word you want to use for it. But we got to get you some blue and gold. We got to get you some stuff with class of 2024 on it and really get you ready to be part of our family here at Newington. I want to say how excited I am for you guys to be starting high school. You will be my 4th class that I've been the head advisor for, and I can't wait to be on this journey with you and be with you for 4 years. So I hope that there's some of you sitting there who might be interested in being my class officers, and what that means is like a class president or secretary or social chair or some of those people who really step up and help me help the class do all these amazing things that we're going to do. If that's something you might be interested in, pop by and see me and we can talk a little bit about it. But I also wanted to let you all know that my doors are always open, all of you. I want to know what it is as a class you want to do. Are there things that you feel that we should be doing? Do you want to see us maybe there's something special that you want the class to have or to do. So my door is always open to you. I'm up on the 3rd floor, and once you get the lay of the land, you can come find me anytime. I wanted to wish you well. I hope you have a great orientation. I know that this is not how any of you planned to start high school, but know that you are joining the most amazing, we call it a family, and that's really what it is. I'm so excited to welcome you here. Some of you I'll get to meet in person as my advisory students, and just my, tips for life. If you need help, make sure that you ask for it. If you see somebody who needs help, help them, and be kind to one another. I hope you guys have a great orientation and have a great first couple of days of high school. And I'm so excited to be with you, class of 2024. Bye.
All right, so again, that's your freshman class advisor. She will be with you all 4 years. Next up, we have a couple of representatives from Stuco to tell you all things Stuco.
Hey guys. Hi. We're here on behalf of Stuco. We're just going to tell you guys a little bit about what Student Council is all about in case if you guys are inclined to join next year. I'm Juliana. I'm president of Student Council next year. To my right is Lindsay. She's going to be vice president. Do you have the clicker? Oh, that's Stuco last year. So basically what we do in Stuco is we plan homecoming, Spirit Week, pep rally, faculty appreciation. We also do a morning announcements in the morning. So right here we have our officers. Me and Lindsay are up there, and then we also have our friend Brenda, who's treasurer next year, but she's not here today. And we have some empty spots because due to COVID, we weren't able to elect new members. So I think as of right now, we're not going to have any officers next year, but hopefully by next year, you guys will be able to run for officers if you'd like.
Elections might happen, but it's normally not freshmen as officers, but still get involved.
Yeah, so once you become a sophomore, junior, or senior, then you can run for an officer, but your freshman year, you're not eligible to. But you're still able to participate because we have different events and activities that you guys can participate in throughout the year.
And it's also good to gain experience as a freshman so that when you are eligible, you already have that. Why would you want to join Stuco? So in Stuco, we make a difference in our community, whether that's in school, after school, or outside of the school. So sometimes we'll go to other schools, help out at the elementary schools, or anything else in our community. You get to meet others. So this year especially, not being able to see your friends at lunch as much, or anything like that, you don't get to interact as much. Stuco will be a great place for that because you can meet people with similar interests and passions as you, and you can be a leader. It's a great opportunity for you to voice your ideas. It's a great place for creativity. We want to hear your ideas. You can, again, generate new ideas to improve your town and community. So not just at the school, but in our town. And you can put yourself out there, meet new friends. We've met a lot of friends through Stuco, and just being leaders with them has helped a lot of people come out of their shells. So as Juliana was saying, these are our committees. Faculty appreciation, so we do birthday presents for the teachers. We do special days for bus drivers or lunch faculty. We do homecoming. Everyone helps set up for homecoming. Everyone in Stuco helps. But it's the most fun day of the year. Hopefully we will have homecoming this year. Spirit Week, we have some pictures from Spirit Week. Last week we did Decades Day, and we did Character Day, USA Day. It was really fun. And we want to hear your ideas for that too. Tell us what you want to see, what your friends want to see. Pep Rally, last year we did a bunch of fun stuff. We did Mario Kart. We did trivia, students versus teacher trivia. Sometimes they do sing-offs or lip syncs, dance-offs. So if you guys have any ideas for that, that's also fun. And community outreach. One thing that we did with community outreach was, we worked on the courtyard, and sometimes we'll do donation events. What we did in 2019 to 2020 it got cut short, so we didn't get to do as much stuff. But pep rally, as I said, we did Mario Kart. And the trivia, we had homecoming, which was Greek gods and goddesses. And we had our suicide prevention assembly and activity. So we brought in speaker, Dennis Gillen, to talk about his experience with his family and suicide and his experience with addiction. So we really wanted to put a focus on mental health and just get people talking about it to break the stigma. And we also have safe boxes on that note of mental health awareness. Like if you're not comfortable enough to go directly to, say, Officer Kaufman or our vice principal, you can drop an anonymous letter. We have them on every floor, the safe boxes. You can drop it in the safe box, say what your concern is, and it goes directly to administration. It's not actually through Stuco, but we are the ones who rolled it out. And then we have various donation events, like I said, which we can help veterans, we can help Humane Society, anything. If you have ideas and you have something that you're passionate about, we want to help you get that done. We did Read Across America, so we went to Patterson and we read to the elementary schoolers, which is always such a fun event. Helping those elementary schoolers is like so fun, and we get to have Mo's after, paid by Stuco. And we did a bunch of other fun events.
So if you guys are looking to get involved, once school starts, we'll announce over the announcements when we're going to have our first meeting. But as of right now, we have an Instagram page, as you can see, NHS 2_Stuco. And you guys can check and see what we did last year if you guys are interested and just want to get to see more of what we did. And then we'll probably start posting again soon enough once the school year starts. And we'll always be posting whenever we have a meeting or anything like that, so we can keep you guys updated. You guys can also join the Remind, and we'll be sending out messages when there's a meeting, and you guys will always get it. Usually meetings are during advisory or homeroom. Sometimes we have them after school. It really depends on what event we're doing, but if it's a regular whole Stuco meeting, then it'll be in homeroom. We also do have a Twitter. We don't really use it. We don't really know how to use Twitter that well. So, and Facebook, we don't really use as well. You can check it. There won't be any updates, but maybe in the new year we'll start using it more. But I'm sure you guys don't really use Facebook anyways, so I don't know, unless if you do, which is cool.
So yeah, thank you guys. Say hi to us in the hall if you see us, Juliana and Lindsay. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys aren't too tired. I know it's been a long morning with all these presentations. It's a little overwhelming. I remember my freshman orientation, I was so scared to be in this giant building with 3 floors, and now they're going one way. It's really overwhelming. But today we have this club for you that we were able to pull through together over the summer, despite everything going on. Thanks to Ms. Tigno, Ms. Freeman, Ms. Antonio, and Mr. Gravanka for being our advisor. And we're really proud of this, and we're really excited to get this up and running this year. We have the Multicultural Awareness Club.
Yeah, all right. Hi, I'm JT. I'm our treasurer. And I'm going to read out the mission statement. So our mission is to broaden understandings of all racial and ethnic cultures in order to foster inclusiveness in our family of learners. And who better to explain our mission statement than what did I just do? Oh, than Arib.
All right, so basically what that means is we want to do whatever we can to make Newington High School a more inclusive place for everyone, no matter where you come from, no matter what the color of your skin is. We want to make sure that you feel like you belong, because we truly do believe that what makes you unique is what makes you strong. And once you're here, we want to make sure you feel welcome. I know it's scary being a freshman at a new school, but you can come to our club and automatically you'll feel that warm welcome.
All right, so some of the things we're looking at doing this year, we hope to work with maybe some of the elementary schools, some of the middle schools in raising multicultural awareness without our Newington school system, and maybe doing cross events with other clubs to really help us reach a student base that is large, that is diverse, and really helps us. spread our message. Now, if you're wondering specifically how that's going to look, that's fantastic because so are we. Obviously, with the current circumstances, things are pretty unpredictable right now, but what would help us is support, really. So we'd really appreciate your support, and it would be great to help us really further our club.
All right, so how to get involved. Hopefully we've got you interested by now. So we have our remind code up there, and it should be on the flyers that hopefully you guys will get later. And we have our Instagram up there. We'll try to post whenever we can and announcements and stuff when we have meetings, whether it's a Google Meet or whatever, however it looks this year. But these are the two ways that we'll try to keep in touch with you, so try to get involved through this. All right, and that's basically it. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
All right. The final group that submitted a slide, just to share with you guys, and I do want to remind you, I know there were some Instagram handles up there, some websites that you can access. All of these slides are going to be shared via a website following today's program. So you'll get an HS Notify email with a link in the coming week that'll give you access to this website, so you don't have to kind of try to remember everything that you see up here. But the Color Guard did submit a slide, so if this is something you're interested in, you're definitely going to want to reach out to them. They perform with the marching band. They're the group that has like the cool flags and the bayonets, all those things. It's a great way to get active, make some new friends, learn new skills, and most importantly, have fun. So if this is something that you guys might be interested in, definitely reach out, follow them on Instagram, and then those are some email addresses of the go-to people for the Color Guard. On the next slide is the moment that you have all been waiting for, I hope. You are going to see the groups pop up here one at a time. They are in alphabetical order, with the exception of the last person in each group, because we had to collapse a group across the 13 groups, okay? So just get ready for that. So know what letter your last name starts with.